So, Ragiroth do.
Ragiroth Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Readthrough Ragiroth Enterprises here. So I heard about this interview, this new Soul Calibur 6 related interview. It's done by Kayane. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with the website, to be honest. And it had some interesting things in it. Like, there's really no well, actually, there's a couple things that are clearly confirmed. Nothing like, a lot of vague comments and all that, but it's less so the comments and more so kind of how they were said that kind of interests me and maybe hints at some things we could be getting in the game. Definitely, I'll probably go through most of the interview. Maybe I'll skip some of it that seems uninteresting and nothing really important that we care about. But there is a lot of interesting things here that I'll probably talk about. Screen recording started, so I can scroll through this and show you what is on my screen. Alright, here we go. Yeah, well, basically they're interviewing the producer of the game. Okubo? Yeah. Thank you, Okubo-san, for your time. I have a few questions about the Soul Calibur series have been really focused on story, and every character has a beautiful story. We saw them growing up and achieve their goals. Do you plan on having developed a story mode similar to Soul Calibur 1, or 2, or which Soul Calibur are you basing your story mode on then? It said 3. We wanted to go back to the era between Soul Calibur 1 and 2 with this new game. Well, it will not be specifically between, but it will be around that era. We want to go back to definitely some spelling mistakes here, I've noticed before. We want to go back to the concept of the clash between Soul Edge and Soul Calibur. Did that ever stop? And we can't exactly say it will be in the game in terms of offline or solo content, as we don't know yet. Okay. It's still in development, but what's sure is that the game will take place during that time frame. What kind of story modes would you do? I already asked that. Because, for example, Soul Calibur 5 is a 2-hour-long adventure. Yeah. And in Soul Calibur 3, every character had its own story mode. Do you have any idea of what you would like to do? As far as ideas go, we already have lots of them as well as finalized concepts, but we can't talk about them yet. Go figure. But we can already tell you that fans will love them. Of course we will. The story mode is already finished. Silence. Cool picture. Nightmare. Smile. Okay, so there are many Siegfried fans asking if the character will appear in this game, especially since Nightmare is Siegfried. I know you can't reply to this, but can you say something to the fans? They're harassing me, chanting, Siegfried, Siegfried. Laughs. Laughs. I know. Sorry, I don't know why this is so entertaining. I'm really sorry, but I can't say anything yet. But we'll say that now that a few characters have been revealed, we'll continue revealing new characters in time. So please look forward to it. Gee, wow, really? I didn't think we'd be getting more characters. Now here's where it kind of gets a little more interesting. There's only 20 characters at launch. I was wondering how it'd go with the balance and power between I'm sorry. With the balance and power between good and evil. We cannot yet say it'd be 20 characters. We're still working on that, discussing it and trying to find new ideas. So no, it's probably not going to be 20 characters. Now, we've gotten some leaks saying it's going to, I think, like 22, 24 characters, and then them saying this too. I think it's definitely promising there's been more than 20, but I'm still not 100% convinced. I feel like that might still just kind of be damage control, if that's the right word I'm using. I see. There were 20 slots, but I guess it's not final then. Will there be DLC characters? Huge hesitation. Laughs. No comment, but I will say that when we add new characters, we think about how they relate to the others. We take some real and careful consideration into balancing them so that the fights may be fair. Since we're going back to the time around Soul Calibur 1 and 2, and the clash between the Soul Edge and the Soul Calibur, we already know most of the characters that can be included here. It's also one of the deciding factors in our choice. There will also be new characters, like Grow, who will play an integral part in the Soul Calibur storyline. So Grow won't be the only new character? Silence. You'll need to wait to find that out. Laughs. Cool picture of Zhangguo. Yeah, I mean, I think leaks or not, I think we were all pretty certain that there'd be more than just one new character. I've seen the 2 new stages and they are very big. It's pretty hard to ring out, even near the ring out zones. Did you limit them, or is it just a stage there? Oh, what kind of... That's part. Yeah, that's... Well, this is sort of interesting. So will this game have a stage per character? I can't answer that, unfortunately. Okay, never mind, it's not that interesting. Okay, now here's where I think it gets interesting. You know that Noctis is in Tekken 7. I've already beaten him a few fair times. I'm Tekken 7's producer after all. Laughs. You know, hopefully not going to make some of the same decisions any with that game. Oh yes, that's true. So yeah, when we saw Noctis, we saw that he had a sword and he fights like a Soul Calibur character. So how come he's not there too? I mean, I don't really say he fights like a Soul Calibur character, but he looked fit. Long pause. This part makes me mad. It might be a bit of an excuse, but the Tekken and Soul Calibur teams aren't the same. And the problem lying with that is that at the time, we didn't think Square Enix would allow us to use Noctis. We too were surprised, and so during the negotiations part of development, we obviously couldn't share any information with the Soul Calibur team. So even then, even them didn't know about it. Development on Tekken 7 began much earlier than Soul Calibur 6. That's a fair point. So I guess that's a bit of an excuse. Also, I must admit that I do think that Noctis would have fit more in Soul Calibur 6, but that's something we can't change, unfortunately. I mean, you could just have them in both, but I know that's maybe a bit too much. In the office, now that we have a playable version of Noctis, we take a look at the videos and the builds. The Soul Calibur team did think, yeah, we would have really loved having him. But yeah, Tekken happened earlier, so that's that. In hindsight, we do think he would have fitted better in Soul Calibur, but it still makes for a nice surprise for Tekken fans who love him. I guess so. It's still nice seeing him in that game. But in any case, you can be sure that we'll have a lot of surprises of the same Soul Calibur and of the same caliber in Soul Calibur 6. We can't say any more yet, but you'll have some really cool characters. And yes, this question kind of broke my heart. Laughs. Laughs. It's fine, because you work with Square Enix, and there exists a much more interesting character to be from your Automata. Please think about it. Wow, biased much? I actually wonder if this is the same person that had the interview that Mark Junard covered some time ago. The person seemed a little opinionated, very, I guess, sort of pushy, even though I guess in this case maybe it's kind of good. Laughs. Nice picture to be. I really like Nier Automata. Have you played it? Yes, I liked it a lot too. You know Yoko Taro, that's the guy that's behind those games for those that don't know. And then this response seemed very interesting to me. He said, I know him, but I won't say anything more. Laughs. Nice try though. Laughs. Now, I mean, could just be a typical vague-ass response, but I mean, anyway, let me continue. Some fans are asking about Star Wars characters again, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible now since Disney owns it, so the license must be expensive. Oh, that's right, I didn't think of that. Before it was possible, but now, can you imagine Star Wars character in Soul Calibur? Silence. Laughs. I prefer to be it anyway. I'll keep that in mind. Guess I see what this is all about. So there are rumors about Soul Calibur on Nintendo Switch. Do you think it's a game that could fit on it? So when we started development on Soul Calibur 3 years ago, we didn't have any information about the Nintendo Switch. This means we're not actively involved into making it for it as of now. But one day, maybe. Pause. To elaborate, we're not actively working on it, but since the Switch is performing really well, and its innovations can lead to new ways to play fighting games, we have some ideas about what to do. We can't do anything right now, but maybe, if we get the opportunity to work on that in the future, we'll see. Also, the Unreal Engine 4 is compatible with the Nintendo Switch. Obviously, we need to make a few changes with the console to be able to make the games run properly. So we need to work on that and alongside Epic so they make the necessary adjustments. So if we do ever do a port, then know that it won't be an easy affair. Is it possible to make a 6 p.m. fun game on the Switch? If we lower the resolution, then yes, it can be possible. So the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection coming to the Nintendo Switch. Do you think about the same thing with Soul Calibur for its 20th anniversary? That's an interesting idea. Well, think about it. The biggest problem with these kinds of projects come from the many guests from other IPs, and, well, okay, it's a bit of a weak excuse, so you can scratch that answer. Laughs. We can make without Link, Hayachi, or the Star Wars characters. Players love the old Soul Calibur games and really love Soul Calibur 2 HD on PS3 and 360. She didn't say Spawn, so, hopefully it means Spawn can stay. Well, it should be fine without Hayachi, since he comes from Tekken. Yes, it would definitely be fine without Hayachi. I agree there. Laughs. Well, since Noctis is in Tekken, then maybe he could be in Soul Calibur? You really want Noctis, right? Laughs. I like Noctis. I'm a big Final Fantasy fan, so... Oh, really? Yes, a very big fan. I went to the Final Fantasy exhibition and bought many Final Fantasy souvenirs all in one luggage. I am such a big fan. Okay, I see. Laughs. Customization is a very popular mode. Even Tekken did it after Soul Calibur's customization mode. Do you think about developing more things for the customization mode? Please be patient. Smile. Tell he's maybe getting a little annoyed. Team Battle is a very popular mode in tournaments. As the community worked together to make teams, it felt like the community knew adversity as well as friendship and rivalries, which made for good memories, but there aren't many Team Battle modes anymore, so I want you to know that some of the players really look forward to. I'm really sorry, but I sadly cannot talk about that. We're really listening to fans' feedback and take notes. If fans feel like asking about that, we'd love to hear from them. As a producer, I know that Soul Calibur attracts many players from all horizons. Each of them has their own way of playing our games. Some are really into character creation tools, while others prefer the solo content. The ultimate modes are the tournaments. There are many ways to play Soul Calibur, and something we need to take into account. Even at the start of the development, it was really hard to find some sort of balance to appeal to all these kinds of players, and some of what we're striving for. Hey, you know what? At least they're freaking trying. And that's my opinion. We absolutely shouldn't take into account all of the players' opinions. Otherwise, there would be no balance. It could become a game for everybody. We do a little bit of everything, unless the overall quality would dip significantly. Yes, but I want you to listen for 2B. Laughs. You told me that so many times now, but I think I'll stick to my mind. Laughs. No need to get the other fans to chime in then. I'm the only one to decide those kinds of things. Yes, I know. We have Gro, who is the first Norse character in the game. How did you decide to make the character? What were the ideas of which myths and stories inspired you to make this character? That's right, I guess he is technically a Norse character. Oh, I guess this is sort of cool. Have you ever thought about making collaboration with anime characters? I really think that Saber from Fate Stay Night could fit in a game like Soul Calibur. We only see collaboration between games, Star Wars being an exception. And I'm thinking, is it possible to do that in the future? There are a lot of ideas and possibilities with these kind of collaborations. Some will mark it as an impossibility. Even though Tekken and Soul Calibur fans are the same at their cores, what they expect from their game is different. There are a lot of possibilities as far as guests go. There also need to be a certain sense of cohesion of the Soul Calibur universe for them to make sense. That's one of those important aspects, so the possibilities are fairly endless. No leads can be overthrown as long as they make somewhat sense. I mean, hey, as Star Wars, I think you could kind of, yeah. Okay, so that was the that interview with the producer of the game and Tekken 7. So yeah, I mean, nothing really that much concrete. I mean, I guess, it seems like unfortunately Noctis kind of missed the boat for this game. But I mean, I think it's kind of wishful thinking on my part, but I feel like the 2B comment did have me curious. Because I was thinking, it's like, well, I mean, both Nier Automata and Final Fantasy 15 obviously Square Enix games, or at least owned by Square Enix, and I was thinking they could have, Namco could have approached Square Enix about both characters, both franchises, whatever. Maybe they made a deal like, alright, one of you can have Noctis for Tekken, one of you can have, Tekken 7 could have one of the characters, the Soul Calibur could have the other character, and Tekken 7 obviously being development first, I guess had a little bit more time, and they grabbed Noctis, and I guess it would sort of make sense because both Tekken and Final Fantasy are a bit more well known and popular, and more, I guess, arguably more mainstream than Soul Calibur and definitely Nier Automata. So I guess it sort of maybe makes sense, out of the two, he was the one to get chosen for Tekken 7, and you could argue who would fit better in the game. But if it's off appearance alone, I would actually say I think that Noctis would fit better in Tekken than 2B. Now I know 2B's like an android, and we kind of, it's like, why would an android be like in, the past? She's not obviously an android. She has a very kind of old Victorian Gothic kind of look to her that I think kind of fits a little bit more in Soul Calibur than Noctis does, because we have to consider, Noctis, Final Fantasy 15 is a fantasy based off reality, so his clothes look incredibly modern, much more than 2B. And I would even argue that his weaponry is a bit more, I guess, in some cases, like the engine sword is more technologically advanced than I guess 2B's are, aside from her little drone guy. That's another story. But I could see what could have happened is, maybe Tekken got Noctis, so then that left 2B for Soul Calibur, and I know there's that rumor with Zoro going to be in the game from One Piece, and because it was leaked by the guy that's been leaking things correct for the most part, Gergaben. Now I'm not saying this 2B's in and Zoro's not going to be in. I think either what the case could be is that Zoro will be the guest character in the base game, like Ezio was in 5, Vader and Yoda and Starkiller were in 4, etc., etc. And then maybe 2B would be DLC. I mean, after all, Noctis was DLC in Tekken 7. I mean, granted, that could have just been because the deal was made much later on, but still, it could have been made around the time. The deal for both of them could have maybe been made around the time that they got Noctis for Tekken 7. Both Zoro and 2B could be the two guest characters in the base roster, because, let's look at the past. Soul Calibur 2 had 3, technically 4 guest characters. It's just that 3 of them were spread among different consoles, while 1 remained on all of them, which was Necrid, technically, because made by guest artist Todd McFarlane. 3 didn't have a guest character, unfortunately. 4 had Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller. Just 2 of them, were spread between 2 consoles. And then, Soul Calibur 5 just had Ezio. So they're not, they've shown in the past that they're okay without a few guest characters. They're just, they would just spread them among consoles, and maybe they want to do that this time. I don't know, maybe 2B would be in the PS4 version, Zoro would be in the Xbox One version. I guess. And the thing is, I think 2B isn't owned by Sony. Like, Nier Automata is a PS4 exclusive, but I've tried to look it up. I don't think it's actually owned by Sony. I think they just wanted to just be on the PS4. So, yeah, like I said, it's just a theory. A game theory. No, I'm kidding. But just a possible idea I had just from this interview, from the tone of it. And again, it could just be, just being vague, playful remarks that mean absolutely nothing. It's unfortunately how most of these interviews go with developers and producers. That the people I ask these questions that they're not going to answer right then and there. But I guess it was definitely better than just an outright no answer. And I guess it's sort of gives some hopes for like maybe Siegfried and some other things. I personally think Siegfried's going to be in the game. At the very least, a DLC character. At the very least, one. But yeah, I really hope, I really hope 2B is in. Zoro, that's right, I really, given my opinion on Zoro possibly being in on this channel, he'd be a cool guest character. Not really, like, someone I, go to. He's one of my favorite One Piece characters. I'm not really that into One Piece. I guess it would be cool, though. I think he'd definitely be cooler than Ezio, and arguably even the Star Wars characters. But I do definitely want to be more. I would just like it to be can't this be like an Eastern game character? Like, come on, it fits so well in Soul Calibur. And I would just really like her in the fighting games. Zoro was in a ton of fighting games, and like I guess they, because I know Zoro isn't owned by a game company, but I mean, Bandai Namco has produced a bunch of One Piece games, so they're kind of already on a working relationship with Shonen Jump and whatever with One Piece. So yeah, I think they very well both could be in. Just one might be in the starting roster, and one could be DLC. And I mean, it's like, I guess characters with just going off Tekken 7 are kind of random. I mean, okay, like I guess Geese and Akuma sort of fit a theme, but then Noctis out of nowhere. So yeah, I hope maybe this interview meant something as vague as it could be, as vague and silly as it was. It is definitely kind of entertaining reading an interview like this out loud. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you think this interview means anything? Do you think it's jack crap? Let me know in the comments below. Like if you enjoyed the video, dislike it if you dislike it. It's a free country. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it. If not, no big deal. And don't forget to check out marking art in the description below. And as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome.